Black, and I'm joined today by our illustrious leader, Jack Mamias, game director of In the Black. It's a fantastic day. Oh, by the way, happy Valentine's Day to those that are celebrating today. Yeah. How you doing, Jack? How's the day going?
Really good. The game's coming along, so that's super happy to see. Everybody's knocking stuff out. Really, we're just polishing now, so we're really close to having something that we're going to put out, which is exciting.
Very exciting indeed. So, again, thank you to all that came in this morning. I know that we're having it a little bit earlier than we usually do, but again, thank you for coming in today. So we're going to be going over what we've been working on at the studio. Of course, these live streams are our way of communicating with our fans about what we've been working on. You know, what's up with some of the delays? What are we, focusing on? And what we're focusing on is mostly just multiplayer combat, co-op, making sure that that stuff is seamless in transition. I think most notably, from what I've been reading through our Discord, is we've been just as far as co-op is concerned, we've been working on networking stuff. I know that you've been playtesting, Jack, mostly making sure that things, all the bells and whistles are good.
Yeah, yep. Play testing a lot on PC, play testing a lot on Steam Deck, and really enjoying the Steam Deck. It's a whole different feeling when you're
Yeah.
playing on that. So it feels like a brand new game. And uh, we've got some really good programmers looking at our systems in the game now. They're making like big adjustments on the way the weapons work and the mass of the weapons and the armor in the ship. So combat's actually being tweaked a lot, and it feels way more hardcore and way better. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really liking what I'm feeling.
Nice. I know that I took a look over at the armor plating systems that were re-implemented because from what I read, we were working on making the machine guns feel a lot more impactful and working on the ricochet for the armor plating. Those are the big two things that I saw.
Yeah, and the rail guns are doing a lot more too, and the modules, the components and the modules are working a lot better. They really are being blown out now. Sometimes we had some bugs in the past where if it got hit with the rail gun, it would survive. Now
Mm.
they go out, so combat is very lethal now, and we may have to balance it back the other way. We're finding we put real repair costs on the Hyperion, and we're going into missions now and losing 39,000 credits if we don't get
Dang.
like 10 kills. So we're gonna have to probably balance a little bit. We heard a lot of people were unhappy with the lasers; they were too powerful. So we're probably going to back them down a little bit or make their power consumption a little higher. So they cost a little more to use. Little things like that that really make the difference in how you fly, what weapons you use, what's effective against certain vehicles, and things like that.
I got you. I think from my perspective as a producer, I don't really get to see the decision making that goes with like balancing and stuff like that. What kind of things do you like focus on whenever you're trying to dial things back or dial things up?
Well, our guy Alex has been looking at the weapon systems and things like that. So we'll make a list of the things that we want to play with, and then he will go in the engine, take a look at them, uh, boost it up, tear it down, whatever. Then we'll play it. We'll see how it feels, and just give feedback. It's iterative design. That's the best. That's the only way you can really do it multiplayer. But then once we do it multiplayer, then we have to go check the single player because then all of that is affected, and every little thing you change has ramifications throughout the game. So we have to be really careful because the game is already amazingly fun. We
Mm.
don't want to break it. We don't want to make it too hard or too easy. It's in a pretty good of a sweet spot. But they're improving stuff like they noticed that the bullets were when you shot them, they were facing the player in a weird way that you were seeing it from the side. So
Oh,
they
weird.
changed it so now the bullets are right where they need to be, and they look so much better. Tiny little change. It just has huge effect on the way the game feels and the way the game plays. We had a couple of bugs. We found one the other day that if you target somebody with lasers, and you shoot your lasers and do damage to the enemy ship. If you target another ship, if you target another ship, it'll still be locked in for the previous ship, and it'll be shooting at the previous ship. So you would target a ship, and you could switch to the Gatling guns, and all of a sudden they wouldn't shoot because they were trying to find the other ship. The other ship may even be dead.
Mhm.
So they fixed that. That bug was bothering me. We had to get that fixed, and we got that fixed. Got everything locked up. New build went out today. A candidate for release, we call it, which means it's something that's potentially it's shippable. But we find a few things in that, so had to go back under the hammer on the hammer and anvil
Yeah,
and
yeah.
bang it out, bang out whatever the problems are, and we're just playing it. Noah's doing a ton of work on the co-op. The co-op seems like an easy thing to do. Is like, okay, yeah, just let people play with their friends, but the amount of bugs that it opens up with joining people, going into a game, playing a game, coming back to the menu where you are in the we had things like we would come back and then you would switch teams with somebody else doing co-op. So not only does co-op have to be tested individually, you have to test it with two players, four players, six players, up to 10 players. So it is really sometimes a headache to check the co-op. But I must say, that was a feature a lot of people requested to be able to play with their friends. And now you
Yeah.
can play with your friends in single player missions. You can play your friends in multiplayer missions. And so it was a big thing. That was something we added for the demo, and people seem to enjoy it. So we're really, really super happy that we added that.
I know that was one of the big issues that we kept seeing pop up on Steam. It's like, can I play this with my friends? Can I go into co-op with my friends? Can I just do this on a harder difficulty? And being able to get that inclusivity, bring people together in our game, I think is going to be the number one thing that helps sets us apart.
Absolutely. And the way it plays, if you are smart when you're playing, you can do things like make sure that your ship has things that it helps the group rather than yourself. Like I will I'll go out with a Pegasus with just CIWS CWIS weapons. Like I've got a lot of VW I mean we have two chemical guns we call them. We have the Gatling guns, which is sort of like a that'd be equivalent to a probably a if you've ever seen what an A10 is, that's got a gun on it. That's kind of what the Gatling guns are. And then you got an autocannon, and those are essentially like a ship gun, right?
Mhm.
Like a 3 inch or 5 inch ship gun. So that hits really hard, fires a little slower, but time those and get those on the right gimbals where they can track things and pop on four lasers onto your ship, and you're a super missile killer. So if you go along with somebody and they focus on offensive weapons like missiles and rail guns, you can really protect them when they go do all the hard hitting stuff. So the combo stuff is just really fun, and you find that by playing more, and it 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 uh it opens up a lot of emergent gameplay and stuff, which we really love.
Yeah, I know that when we eventually do release early access, I think that's gonna be the one thing that we're gonna be looking at, like, I know that we're working we talked about it last stream about the border collie map, the mining facility. I think
Yep.
that's one of my favorite maps personally just because of the amount of, like, things that you can do with your team. Because I know we have an area where you can just get strikes, just go through that little tunnel and then, like, surprise your enemies or just gear up with a bunch of, like, Reuses and just like sit in one of the main tunnels for somebody to come out the other side. And it's going to be great whenever we start seeing more of that type of gameplay like emerge once we hit early access.
Yeah, and we've got Jaden, one of our coders, working on it, and he has really been improving the Badrakali map. He's adding little features in it that we didn't have before, and going in and really making it special. So that's super exciting.
All right. Are there any other like things that you're looking forward to for co-op? Anything that's like on the horizon that you see or
We've got a lot of stuff on paper.
yeah.
That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to get into the game itself. What I'm two things I'm most excited about that's on paper, and this is not a promise that it's going to go in the game, people, is the electronic warfare, which is the ability to jam other ships and to affect change on them and hide yourself, or make yourself less a target. And I want my nukes in. We want nuclear weapons in there
That's
because
right.
that's that nukes will have an EMP effect. And the design is when you get hit with an EMP, your ship power goes out. So now all of a
Mhm.
sudden your DSS doesn't work, which gives you the sound. So it's super quiet like it would be in space. Um, your flight assist doesn't work. You're flying the ship manually, essentially. None of your lock-on weapons exist. Your guns don't fire, and your ship will reset. Uh, your ship will reset after a while, but you're going to be vulnerable and you have to be flying under manual control, right? And if you're already moving
Right.
fast and you're spinning or something, if you're a good pilot, you can get yourself out of that spin and get yourself to like a safe spot and hide somewhere until your systems come back on. That's one thing. I love that idea. I've been wanting to do that forever. I've been wanting to. We are playing with the repair fields because in our universe, just using what's on the table now, there's a thing called nanobots, right? And nanobots and nanofibers and all these things are like tiny little machines that can do things. And apparently, they can do things like repair weapons. They can repair armor. They can, uh, you know, patch holes in components or temporarily repair components. So in our game, you have like a blue field that's a repair nano tech field that if you drive into and stop, your ship can be repaired. Then you can be rearmed, you can be refueled, you can get everything back to normal. What that nanotech field we had just parked that in like our instant action mission so people could keep playing it. And somebody had the idea. It might have been me. It might have been somebody else. I'm not gonna take credit for it because they don't have Noah tell me it's his idea, that we can attach that nano field to a ship like a Pegasus, and then the Pegasus can be like something you can pull next to, and as long as it has weapons and it has fuel, it can repair you, but also rearm you and to a certain extent refuel you with its own fuel. And if it holds a lot of fuel, then it can keep you going. Presumably for a long time, and you could hide that ship behind a piece of rock or a structure or something and just come back and be repairing the field, which will give you a huge advantage on the other team. Which
I know that having a
so
support ship out there in Bloodsport, that would be astronomical as far as,
yeah,
like.
we definitely want that because that would even make the aspect of co-op and team play that much more important if you can do if things besides fight, right? You can do things, and maybe there's our conscientious objectors out there who don't like to kill people, and they can just heal people, and they can be friendly, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that that kind of opens up another topic of conversation as far as, like, customization goes, because if we're offering that type of support role, maybe we might dive a little bit further into, like, for instance, you were mentioning, like, fuel, being able to have, like, better fuel supplies in your ship. Do you think that we could go that deep?
Yeah, and some people have asked for like strap-on tanks that they can put onto the ship and then they can drop off so they can just they can go super fast. And we're looking at everything. I read everything people post in our. We've got an in-game feedback. If you hit F8, you get to post your beefs with the game. Excuse me. You can post your beefs with the game or your bugs and things like that. And through that, we found out in the demo that people were having joystick issues, and
Right.
we had tens of thousands of people playing the game. And when all of a sudden you open up the two, our joysticks all work fine, right? But we probably
Mhm.
had about 10 different joysticks. But then when you got tens of thousands of people playing the game, now you got 100 joystick bugs that are popped up. So that was by far the biggest issue we saw in the demo. And I think we fixed most of them. I did see on Steam today somebody's having a joystick issue. Um, so we'll look into that and we'll continue to adjust things. And we've had requests for like somebody requested you could zoom in farther, and then we put that in there, and it turns out it's a great feature. We never, we kind of put a baby zoom in there, and now you can zoom all the way in and see the bullet holes appearing on the ship. And I looked at, I was like, why didn't I think of that? Gosh, that's so stupid. And it works so good. So people, keep your comments coming. The idea of this game is, this is a hard science fiction dogfighter, and really there's never been anything out there like that before. So you're doing things that we haven't even thought of. So we really relish the chance to get your feedback and to make those changes and to improve the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, without our fans, without our supporters, and we wouldn't be where we are today. So, I mean, I can't wait to see more people playing the demo, playing early access, and potentially getting their hands on the full-fledged game and just seeing where it goes from there because they will influence us in a huge way.
Yeah, I think the people who play the demo will be super happy with the stuff that we're gonna ship with. First of all, you'll now be able to buy the ships, and we have a ton of ships in the game, all different, all have different weapon mounts, all different characteristics of flight, all the way up into the Hyperion, which is really a monster ship. But the Hyperion burns through fuel, so you don't want to, and costs a ton to repair. You don't want to be taking the Hyperion out every day. That's like your Cadillac Eldorado. It's going to burn a lot of fuel. It's going to look flashy. It's going to kick some butt, but when you come back, the repair bills are going to be so high. You're going to be, you're going to
Huge
be paying.
hole
You're
in the
going to be paying
pocket.
for that with a lot of strike missions.
Well, we're getting in some comments in
Oh,
here. I know
cool.
Robert G. Um, yeah, ended up in the wrong live stream.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
we
sorry.
had some technical issues, so this is our solution to that. So thank you for coming in, and thank you so much for
Do
seeing
we
us.
need to post a different link in the channel or something?
We can. I wouldn't mind doing that real
Yeah,
fast.
put that in there because I
Let's see.
invited everybody. Maybe they didn't see it.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're without our dear leader, Professor E today. He usually runs the live streams, and he's off doing some
He's off on a big
secret
plane heading
missions.
into
He's doing
big
some
business areas.
secret missions that
Yeah, man.
we can't talk about yet. But
And same with Westman. He's traveling today as well.
yeah, yeah,
So
he's coming to the States, it seems.
yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be great.
So yeah, we'll keep it today to about 30 minutes. But are any if anybody has any if anybody watching, does anybody have any questions? We'll be glad to take those questions. If not, I can kind of give a little update on what the team is doing in addition. Lots of super high tech things that are happening, but I'll try to make these in English that is understandable. Noah has added editor menu actions and utilities to update default input and open the item container utility widget. This is just going to it's going to make things work a little smoother in the inventory, and that's going to help a lot. He's doing a lot of input system work, fixed some default mapping and custom profiles. We had a few issues where if people put default and they left the fault and came back to it, it would break. So we had to clean that up. Doing some currency and economy migration, and people are going to start seeing in the real game. Not only are the ships going to be available, but there's going to be some new maps that they haven't seen, including Badrakali. We haven't put that out there. And my favorite map, Blind Spot, which is a full-on assault mission or a defend mission, depending on what side you start on. And it's got a carrier in there. It's really, really, really amazing. Um, Doing some work on the Reus. Lots of squad stuff like we had discussed earlier. Um, Gameplay, doing some we have a little hologram on the MFD, and you can look at yourself, and it tells you what's damaged or and what's getting damaged. And you can also pop up the enemy. So the enemy hologram, there were scaling issues with it, where what some ships were too big, some ships were too small, and now I think we've got it. The last version I saw looked pretty good. Um, Ribco's been doing some super exciting things. We added a glitch effect on the MFD, so when you get damaged, your MFD start blinking out and fuzzing out. You can kind of see that happening. Your HUD is also going to be glitching out a little bit, which is nice. It gives a nice texture to when you get hit. You're going to be you're going to want to not get hit because your
Exactly.
screen may go out totally, which is kind of cool. Um, Let's see. Added 2-second looping timer to validate squad leader status. Added patrol nodes to a mission we have called Glass Tower. Glass Tower is another mission that's not going to ship with the early access, but that's going to come out shortly after. That's an exciting mission where you're defending a North Star corporate headquarters hidden base that people are attacking, and it's defended with drones. And halfway through the mission, the bad guys hack the drones, so they turn on you. And sometimes they hack them, sometimes they don't, right? Depending on how our AI is thinking. So sometimes you're going to fight at your own drones while people are attacking you, and if they destroy the base, obviously you're going to lose the mission.
One of the most
That's a
difficult
really great
missions I
mission.
think we have. That is a head scratcher for me. Can't
Yeah,
seem to figure it
that
out
was a
yet.
tough one. There's some hard missions, and when you get up there, when you're playing, we have a contract system that there's always going to be 3 to 5 contracts available. And those contracts, depending on the rank that you have, can be up to 2 plus or minus in difficulty. So let's say uh, I've got a mission called Space Recon where all I have to do is just you're scouting for a bigger fleet, and you've got to go through some waypoints in a contested battlefield. That's kind of the after effects of a large battle. So there's a lot of destroyed ships and rubbish and detritus stuff floating around. Some of it's radioactive and hot, but there's still people from that fight. They're still kind of hiding in among the rubbish with their ships turned off, wait for you to come find it, kind of hijack you. And you've got to go through these waypoints. If you just go in a level one, you just go through 4 waypoints and you might get accosted by 1 or 2 strikes. But if you play like higher levels, like a level 3, you're probably going to have 1 or 2 Hyperions pop up to kill you. Your missiles are launching. It's really hairy. So the missions, when they go to a tier 4 difficulty, you're going to get paid a lot more for the missions, but they are going to be so much harder to play. And I find I really like it when it's really hard. Now it's because I've been playing the game a lot, but I really like the challenge when the missions are super hard. So I've been having a great time playing this because I finally uh, I like to earn myself up to to the rank. I'm an admiral or rear admiral now or whatever I am, and with lots of money, and I can take good ships out, but I still like to come back and make a lot of money on the and I like to keep my ship relatively undamaged. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Well, we got one question in here that I
Just one
feel like
question?
we should address. It's a big one. We could choose
Okay.
to. It is
Pop it up. Let's see it.
any
Any
date
day for
for
early
early out.
access.
Yep.
I would love to get a day for early access, but like I said, we're still tweaking the co-op a little bit. We want to really get it as sweet as possible. Uh, we will, as soon as we can lock that down, we will push it everywhere. I think we're working on another launch trailer that'll come out. So we can't wait to tell you guys when it's coming out, but I can't do it right this second because there's still a few things that need to be locked down. So I will not give a date until it is. I have that build sitting and I've tested it and it's ready to go. So can't give a date quite yet.
And I know, like, I feel like we talk about it a lot where it's like, we don't want to release something that's not at its peak. Well, I say peak. We don't want to release something that is broken and would just disappoint a lot of fans, especially up to this point.
Yeah, and it's got to be substantially better than the demo was too. And the demo was tight, and everybody seemed to like it. We had, like I said, we have tens of thousands of people playing it, which is really great. And we want to have tens of thousands of people playing the early access, obviously. So we're trying to put stuff in there that it's going to be worth it to them. There's some great single player missions. There's some great multiplayer missions we're putting in there, and we're going to endeavor to keep the content coming. We've got tons of missions that are almost ready and they're being prepped and they're going to be coming in, and you'll just load the game up and all of a sudden you'll see that there's a new mission in your contract board that you haven't seen before. Like here's one on the surface of Enceladus that you have to do, or here's one, you know, here's one in, you know, that's in a rift on Mimas, or here's one, you know, with a space elevator in there. There's so many exciting things to show that we haven't revealed yet. That is going to be coming out. We think people are going to be really loving it.
I agree. It's one of those things that I think because we have such a niche idea for a game, and we have like I don't want to say we've cornered the market on it or anything, but as far as
We
there's
have not.
nothing quite like our game, so we got to make it the best it could possibly be, just so we
Yeah.
can,
Yeah,
you know,
there's a lot of competition out there. We've been recently featured on a bunch of videos as upcoming the most exciting space sims of
LT
2026.
Gaming, Obsidian Ants.
Well, we love LT Gaming. We're gonna try to do a stream with LT Gaming right before we ship. We probably are also considering Westman and Zach El Haj and myself will probably do a Reddit AMA at some point. Last time we did that, we were on the front page for quite a while, so we know
Mhm.
people like hearing about how to, you know, the game development process and how to make a hard science fiction how to make a hard science fiction game.
Right.
The funny thing is, I started. People have been bugging me for years to watch Firefly, which is a science fiction show that came out in the '90s by Joss Whedon, and it's supposedly hard science, but now I'm so attuned to hard science, and I was picking out all the stuff. You know, they do stuff like when all their flight, you know, when they have the exterior shots, there's no sign, it's silent and it's quiet. You don't hear sound, and they've got, you know, they do the oxygen stuff and they do life support and things like that. But I noticed they've got anti-gravity that they don't talk about. They kind of magically have anti-gravity. Um, no force fields, so that's good. Firefly's not even armed. It's like a transport ship. And
Mm.
they in order to shoot stuff, they've had to like open windows and fire guns out and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting. Um, but I've been enjoying the show, and I've been and then but comparing it to our game, I can pick all the things apart that are not hard science. And I'm sure, you know, I was watching the Artemis launch. The I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch Artemis go up, which is a manned ship that we launched from Canaveral. They're going to go around the moon, right? Which is super exciting for us to see that and to see the scientific stuff that they have to deal with, right? I mean, it's real hard science that we know is a million times more hard science than we do. Uh, but we don't want you to have to be an engineer to play our game. We want you to just be a gamer and still enjoy it and still have the flavor of hard science.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've seen some comments and videos that says, yeah, I loaded it up and there's I hear stuff, right? And like that's not hard science. And I'm like, well, we kind of say why that is, and we kind of say why, you know, they're like, why are there fighters? And why isn't there capital ships that are launching projectiles from 200,000 kilometers away? We're like, yeah, that's cool, but is that fun?
Yeah.
Is that fun? That's like
I've seen you ask that question a lot on our Discord,
That'd
just
be
like, "Yeah,
that'd be
that's"
like submarine combat, right? Like you
yeah.
don't like you do nothing 99% of the time, and then you have 1 second of fun, right? So
Yeah.
maybe that's our next game. We'll see if people like this one. Maybe we'll do the next game
You heard it
and
here, folks.
do
It's gonna be
Capital.
a submarine game next. Well, all right. I think that we're approaching our time. So
Okay.
again, I want to thank everybody who came and joined. Again, sorry again for the technical difficulties. Thank you, Jack, for coming in today.
Yeah, I'd love
Also,
to
thank
indeed.
you to all of our supporters. You know, LT Gaming. Thank you, Obsidian Ant, for featuring us, and all of those who have been playing the game and leaving us comments.
Yeah,
You
keep it
guys
coming.
help make the game what it is. So again, thank you, and we'll see you again when we see you. Bye, everybody.